Good morning, viewers. I am Prince Comrade Wiki Daniel Twale. This morning, I want to share knowledge about preventing injury and fatality in a workplace. You know, a lot of us work in highly hazardous environments. Hazardous environments simply means environments where we have things that can inflict injury on workers. The essence of this discussion is to help us so that we should be able to go to our workplace on a daily basis and come back to our family safely. In every workplace, there are two major causes of injury and fatality. In my studies, I would group them into what we call unsafe acts and unsafe conditions. Those are the two major causes of injury and fatality in every workplace. So if you ask me what is an unsafe act, an unsafe act has to do with human behavior and interaction with energy sources in the environment. So what is unsafe condition? Unsafe conditions arise from all the things we work with, all the energy sources we work with in our work environment. So somebody may be asking, what are energy sources? Energy sources are what we use to power our machines and what we use to make work easy for us. We have 10 major energy sources in every industry, no matter the kind of work you do. And these energy sources include pressure, temperature, mechanical, electrical, a whole lot. Rotating mechanical parts, electrical, temperature, which is hot or cold surfaces. So like I was saying, energy sources includes electrical, mechanical energy source, radiation energy source, motion, sound, gravity, temperature, pressure, chemicals, and biological. I'll take these energy sources one after the other. Let me explain what electrical is. We know a lot of machines are being powered by electricity. And when you power your machines by electricity, you are likely to get electric shock or electrocution as an hazard in that environment. Another is mechanical. We work with a lot of mechanical equipment. Like you see right behind me, we have some trucks. All those are mechanical equipment. And when you work with mechanical equipment, we have rotating parts, which now lead us to motion as another energy source. Moving parts. You must not place your hands in between moving parts. That could lead to cuts. Sound. If you listen carefully, you will see that my work environment is not too quiet. That's why I will have to raise my voice every time I need to talk. So when you talk about sound, you're talking about noise that is above 85 decibel. 85 decibel exposure, any noise that you are exposed to above 85 decibel can actually cause damage to your hearing. Can cause damage to your hearing depending on the exposure limits. Then we have gravity. People that are working at height or objects that are lifted. All these are energy source. We have temperature, hot or cold surfaces. Like if you look behind me, you might see the flare. There's a flare. The flare comes from fire. It's as a result of gas that is being burnt. So you can see the fire right behind me. It's called a flare. Stuff like this can result to burn. There are other surfaces, like if you work in a cold room, it's still under temperature. Eyes, stuff like that falls under temperature as energy source. Then we have pressure. We have compressed air like cylinders, gas cylinders, and other materials that we work with. All of these things are usually can be explosive. Pressure can be explosive when you pressurize stuff in a container and it's not properly managed or taken care of. Then we have chemicals. A lot of jobs involve the use of chemicals. Like if you are into sewage treatment, like you can see these tanks behind me, all these are sewage treatment tanks. You use chemicals like chlorine if you work in this kind of environment. All these are things that could impact people's health, that could cause health issues. Then we also have biological. Biological simply means things that have life, your health. And there are things that, like snakes. If you have reptiles like snakes, all those are things that can cause injury and fatality in work environment. So how do we manage all of these energy sources I just mentioned? Electrical, mechanical, radiation, motion, sound, gravity, temperature, pressure, chemical, and biological. It now depends on how you behave, which leads us to unsafe acts. Unsafe acts. So the major causes of injury, and fatality in any work environment is unsafe acts and unsafe condition. When these two things meet, there's likely to be injury or fatality. When you have an energy source and there's a direct contact with it or interaction with it, based on the worker's behavior, which is being influenced by a lot of factors, because if you don't touch an energy source, if you don't have contact with it, there will be no incidents. But the moment there is an energy source and the human that work with them, or human beings that need them to achieve their aim in a workplace, do not interact with them safely. When you interact with them unsafely, that's what we call unsafe acts. So unsafe acts and unsafe conditions are actually the major cause of incidents in every workplace. So how do we behave around this unsafe acts, unsafe condition? How do we behave around unsafe condition, which are energy sources, so that we can work safe and go home to our family safely and even enjoy our pay safely? I will give you a short tip on how to behave. So some of the things that can influence our behavior in a workplace includes alcohol and drugs. We all agree that yes, alcohol and drug influences human behavior. So that's why it's good for us to stay away from drug and alcohol when we are walking around any of these energy sources I just mentioned. Secondly, anger. Your mood matters. Are you in the right frame of mind, or are you angry? Angry people are more likely to make mistakes. So that's why we organize pep talks. As professionals, we organize pep talk in our everyday workplace, so that you put your workers in the right frame of mind, talk to them to avoid things that will trigger them while on the job, and advise them to get rest from time to time. That's another factor. Fatigue. When a worker is tired, he's more likely to make mistakes, and that could lead to funny behavior, unsafe acts that can impact unsafe conditions and actually cause injury and fatality in a workplace. Even overexcitement, not only anger. If you are overexcited in a workplace, you could get yourself injured. So there are a whole lot of factors. In our next video, we shall be looking at these things critically. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, fans, for your time. I remain your host, Prince Comrade Wiki Daniel Twale. Bye.